1, 2, 3, 4. Those are numbers, but you already knew that. If you want to know what number you're going to pay each month for your car, use Kelly Blue Book My Wallet on Auto Trader. They're really good at numbers. Auto Trader.
Hello, and welcome to Unequal Sequel.
Extra!
Delightful, thank you, Rich. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Yeah, I'm good. I've been to see Bond today, finally.
I know. Do you want to tell the listeners quickly what you thought of it, and then...
I didn't like it very much. I thought it was okay, but I don't really like Bond anyway. And it was a very kind of Bondy movie. I didn't like Rami Malek as the villain. All the stuff you said that was bad, I found really, really bad.
And all the stuff I liked, you didn't like.
All the stuff you liked, I thought was okay. I think it was an okay movie, basically.
Where would you put it in the Bond? What would you put it with? High or low?
Yeah, I think you were probably right, as it fits in the middle of the Daniel Craig Bonds, I guess. Like, so if I don't want to put it in with all the Bonds, because I don't know, I've not seen all of them recently, but in terms of like the Daniel Craig Bonds, it's better than Spectre, and it is not as good as Casino Royale. So
in the middle for you. I'll take that.
That's where it sits, in the middle.
I'll take that.
Yeah.
Apart from that, how has your week been? Are you well, because last week you were sick, and the week before that you were doing the Freshers week?
Yeah, I've recovered from Freshers. I've had a day off today to get over stuff, and yeah, I'm feeling better. I'm feeling much better. Hopefully I'm feeling my dulcet tones are back to normal and I'm all croaky.
People might have liked them.
They might have liked it. I didn't like them. I didn't feel very well.
Do you want to tell them what we're doing today on this extra episode?
We are reviewing Venom, Let There Be Carnage. And Carnage there is.
It's an interesting film, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the sequel to Venom, which I quite liked. I quite liked Venom in a kind of like pulpy, short and snappy superhero movie way.
Yeah.
And this kind of takes that to a bit more of an extreme.
Yeah. I want to delve into a little bit more into Venom, right? So,
okay.
How many times have you watched it? Venom?
A couple, probably.
Yeah.
Not lots. I own it on Blu-ray.
Oh, nice.
But I didn't see it in the cinema. I saw it on Blu-ray. I think my wife bought it for me, actually.
Oh, sweet.
And I've seen it a couple of times.
Do you know the character of Venom very well before watching the film?
Well, I do a bit, because I was a little bit of a Spider-Man comic nerd when I was a kid.
Yeah.
So I quite liked Spider-Man, so I sort of know about Venom from them, but I'm not a massive... It was a childhood sort of liking of Spider-Man, and so I've not carried that massively on into adulthood, if that makes sense. So I'm not a massive nerd of Venom, but yeah, sort of.
But did you think that Venom could be a good guy? Did I miss that in the cartoon somewhere?
No. Well, see, for me, Eddie Brock was always a bit of a bully.
Yeah, it's a bad guy,
and
right?
not a likeable character. And I think that is not the direction they've taken him. He's more of a kind of a hapless loser than he is the kind of bully, kind of, strong guy pushing people around kind of character that he is in the comics. And Venom is definitely not good in the comics, but occasionally capable of some ambiguous kind of heroics, potentially. Yeah. Whereas I think that's what they've taken on for the movie and kind of tried to make him he's essentially Batman, but Batman wants to eat all the villains. that's Venom in these movies.
Yeah. I've watched Venom a few times now, probably 3 or 4 times. And the first time I watched it was on a plane. It's a perfect plane movie, by the way.
Yeah, I imagine that's quite a good plane movie.
I wasn't too hot on it first time, and it's slowly warmed up to me. To me, it still does feel like it's a film from 2004. It had that feel to it, but Tom Hardy does commit to it.
I mean, the thing about it is Tom Hardy's performance is very good. Tom Hardy is quite good about arguing with himself.
Yeah,
I think is the main thing.
It's one of those weird films that the critics hated, but yet the audience have quite liked.
Yeah, it made like $850 million.
It made
a lot of money.
Serious money. So that's how we got a sequel. Because otherwise, I don't think we would have got a sequel on the back of this from the critical success. It's all thanks to the fans and the audience that have gone to see it. And then we get this, and it teased a sequel, didn't it? At the end of Venom, which I love when they tease, and I love it when they actually follow through with a teased ending. And we get Woody Harrelson as Cletus. I can't remember his second name. I should have written it down. The mental guy.
Yeah, I don't remember either.
And we get Carnage, and he has a bad wig at the end of the first film.
Yeah, that seems to have gone.
To another bad wig.
Yeah. It's a bad wig, but it's a different bad wig.
Right. So, first question always to you, Rich, is did you enjoy it?
Mm-hmm. I kind of did and kind of didn't. So, it was... There were things that I enjoyed about it, and there were things I didn't.
Yeah.
I think... I'm going to be really controversial here, Dave, because I know you don't like a long movie. I think it could have done with an extra half an hour.
I think it could have done with a bit more time, but maybe not half an hour.
Well, I mean, just some more explanation of some stuff. And, you know, like about 80% more Naomi Harris, please.
Yeah, I knew you would. That would upset you.
It's got actors in this movie that I really, really like.
Yeah.
I really like Naomi Harris. I really like Michelle Williams. I really like Tom Hardy. Yeah. I fucking love Stephen Graham. Excuse my
boy.
And I love Scroobius Pip. And Scroobius Pip's in it for about 10 seconds. And I did a little cheer in the cinema when he popped up. Those 5, that should be enough to make this an amazing movie. And then there's Woody Harrelson. Yeah.
I think Woody Harrelson watched Tom Hardy in the first one and thought, I've got to up that.
Yeah, I think you're probably right.
He does, but I don't think it's in a good way.
No. I would have much preferred Naomi Harris to be the bad guy in this.
Her character was interesting, yeah.
Because her character is the perfect bad guy for Venom.
Yeah.
Because Venom is sensitive to sound, and she can make, like, incredible sound. Like, how is she not the bad guy?
So she plays Shriek.
That would be amazing.
She plays Shriek.
Yeah, she plays Shriek.
Which I've never seen or heard before in the comic books. If she is a character, I'm not quite sure.
She is in the comic books.
Cool.
I'm pretty sure I've heard of her in the comic books.
That's good.
I'm pretty sure. But I'm fishing in like 30-year-old memories there, so you know I could be wrong.
They've been diluted somewhat over the years.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. But yeah, I don't know why she wasn't the main baddie. Honestly, if it was me, if I was Andy Serkis directing this movie, I would have made it seem like it was going to be all about Carnage and literally have Carnage like die in the first couple of scenes, and then just made it all about Shriek instead.
See, I wouldn't have been happy with that because I've always liked the Venom Carnage characters as bad guys. So I thought wicked Carnage, and you know what? I'm going to say I quite enjoyed this film. Not like it's a masterpiece in any way, because it's far from a masterpiece. And like you said, the plot could do with a little bit ironing out.
Yeah. And I did not enjoy it. I came out thinking, oh, that was all right.
Yeah.
You know, I came away thinking that was, it was okay. But I was like, but also, I'm not sure what happened most of the way through. I'm not sure what the story was, or the point to any of it was, really.
I've read it somewhere Andy Serkis wanted to make it like the Odd Couple between Venom and Eddie Brock. And you know what? He somehow succeeded with that, I think, because they're trying to live with each other and neither of them are willing to move.
Well, make it all about
you
that
need a
then.
bad guy,
Don't
Rich.
even... I mean, the Carnage stuff, I mean, yeah, I know, but like it was too muddled for me. Carnage's motivation, like Cletus's motivation, was all over the place. Completely all over the place. Like, is he a serial killer out for revenge? Is he an abused kid who's then wants someone to recognise the abuse that he went through? Does he just want to be friends with Tom Hardy, with Tom Hardy's character, with Eddie Brock? What's his motivation? Is he trying to get back his lost love? Like, he's got... There's so much going on in such a short movie. They didn't really explain any of that. Like, it just
Carnage comes
straight into it happens.
A transfer of blood, shall we say? Like, does that work? I guess it does work a little bit.
I guess
symbiote.
Carnage is a
symbiote.
Venom is a symbiote. Yeah, but yeah, the kind of the reveal is not really a big reveal either, is it?
Did you like the design of Carnage?
Yeah, I thought it was all right. I thought he was pretty
red.
accurate. It looks okay. There's a cracking line that we can say because it's in the trailer. He's like, no, that's a red one. I quite like that. That made me chuckle.
I quite enjoyed that whole last set piece that's set in the church.
Yeah, it was all right. Yeah, it was a decent kind of superhero set piece, but again, kind of wasted some characters a little bit. I think, you know,
You must be gutted. You've watched 2 films with Naomi Harris where they haven't used enough Naomi Harris.
I know, right? I've like literally the last 2 films I've watched have had one of my favourite actors in, and they barely bloody used her. You know, like, it's so annoying.
Oh God! And then Michelle Williams comes back
and is lovely, and I've been in love with Michelle Williams since Dawson's Creek.
I knew you were going to
and
play
she
Dawson's
can do no
Creek
wrong.
I mean, she did what was necessary in this movie. I think everyone commits to the part. Woody goes too far.
She's a better actor than this movie lets her be, I think.
I think most actors in this film are better actors than this movie lets them be. And I'm talking like Stephen Graham, because we love Stephen Graham.
Oh my God.
We all know what Tom Hardy can do. But I think they play to what the film is. So
yeah,
I think the tone's a little bit all over the place, because some bits,
the tone is all over the place.
Some bits it's quite dark, like you said. Mentions his abusive past, and then some bits you've got this like comic book movie, like original Spider-Man music, and think, oh, that's what they're going for. And then you've got this weird odd couple business that's there, and then they're trying to squeeze that Venom's a good guy, but he's not really a good. He's a monster who wants to eat people's heads.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, I'm looking forward to where that's going to go. But yeah, tonnage was wrong for me.
It was, and it's all about that, trying to juggle the balance between action and comedy, I guess, isn't it? It wasn't an all-out comedy. It wasn't, but it was a very comedic action movie. It's not a world-building superhero movie like we're used to with the Marvel Universe. It is, you know, it's sort of Deadpool-ish in it, that it sits alongside the Marvel Universe but not quite in it. And I just feel like I don't know. I watched the first one and I was like, this is a different kind of movie, of Marvel movie. I can get behind this. It's funny and I like it. And I watched this one and I was like, I can see what they're trying to do. And yeah, it didn't quite hit the same buttons as the first one did.
Do you think if you liked the first one, you'll like this one? And if you didn't like the first one, you won't like this one? This won't bring any new fans.
If you didn't like the first one, you would definitely not like this one. You know, if you're one of those people that watched the first one and was like, what is that shit? Like, because a lot of people did, you're not going to like this movie. What I will say is, definitely make sure you watch the first one before you go and watch this one. To remind, because I wish I'd watched the first one more recently so that I had it fresh in my mind, because essentially this just carries bang straight from the end of the first one. This could be like part 2 of the same movie, essentially.
Did you not think there was a couple of time hops though that were a little bit jarring?
In the film there were time hops, yeah, but like the beginning of the movie feels like it starts bang the end of the last movie, and then there's weird time hops in the movie. Which they don't really handle very well. At one point, it's like, oh, Eddie's got a new TV, and that represents that he's now a little bit more successful because he's done something. Congratulations on the new TV. But that didn't really kind of gel together.
And he's got chickens.
Oh, yeah, that was weird. That was strange. I found that really strange with the chickens, because it felt like that Eddie and Venom had moved on, but that Eddie and Cletus hadn't moved on. Like, that was still I don't know. I don't know. It was.
Hang on. So let me try words. So at the end of the first film, he goes and interviews Cletus, right? Yeah. And Cletus doesn't really give anything away from that discussion. No. And he says the Carnage line, but even at that point, he doesn't know Carnage exists, and he just says
it. Yeah.
Which annoys me, because at that point I thought he should have probably known about, or should have been Carnage. Yeah. Like, it should have been a secret, and he's got that stupid wig, and then Eddie's still a loser.
Yeah.
Stuff happened, and he's still a loser. And then he gets called back.
But it feels like
Cletus again.
He's been talking to Cletus. Like, it felt like Cletus has just gone, oh, I quite like that guy that came and talked to me. I'd like him to come back. Like, it's a week later.
But why? I didn't ever feel like why he made that connection.
I don't know. It just felt. I don't know. He's a serial killer and a mad person. I don't get why he made that connection either. But, you know, maybe that's what happens. Maybe serial killers latch on to reporters, potentially.
Well, you know, Venom's a serial killer.
Well, yeah, true. Yeah.
He's an alien who likes to rip people's heads off, and that's why I want to see
I'm not
more
sure
of.
that counts as a serial killer, though, because he's a different species.
I
so
want
he's like
to
a
see
lion.
Venom
You
as
wouldn't
a
say a
bad guy,
lion's a
Rich.
serial killer. He's just eating his dinner.
I would. That is true. Did you like the scene when Venom goes out partying? People might have seen the pictures and thought it was fake.
I thought that was
It's
very
real.
weird. Very, very weird. Like, whose body is he in at that point? There's a big muscular guy or something? I don't know.
Yeah.
Like,
Because it's weird. When he's Tom Hardy, he goes a bit bigger than Tom Hardy. And when Venom's in Michelle Williams, it's like a slender, sexy Venom.
yeah.
So you're right. Who is that? And why do the rules change for certain body shapes that he's taking over? And he takes over a few bodies in this. I don't get it.
No, I don't get it either. I didn't. If Venom can so easily jump into different bodies, why does he stay with Eddie so much? Why didn't he
Because
go
it's
off and...
because they there's a connection there.
They
you know,
sync
because
up, don't they?
He's in other bodies and they seem to be dying. It's like
Right.
in the first film, the Riz Ahmed character does so many human experiments to try and find a perfect host.
You're right. Of course.
That's I only know that because I've watched the first one recently.
Yeah. I'd forgotten all about that, to be honest.
Bing.
But yeah, I mean, it's not a bad movie. It's definitely not a bad movie. It's a fun movie to go and see. I enjoyed it. Tom Hardy's performance is great. I think for me, Carnage is the letdown a little bit, and Woody Harrelson is potentially, that character is muddled and confused, and I would far more have appreciated having more Shriek, more Stephen Graham, and yeah, that would have been good for me.
It was like watching Woody Harrelson be doing like a PG version of his Natural Born Killers character.
Yes, that's exactly right. That's exactly what it was. It was
I feel like that's what he was trying to channel.
Yeah, a PG down version of that. And I'm not sure that worked for me.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying, because Woody Harrelson's not a bad actor. You know, I love Zombieland. I think he's brilliant in that. And I like the second Zombieland as well. I think he is brilliant in that. But I don't know. It just didn't feel right. That character just didn't feel right in this movie.
Do you think it was bad casting?
No, I don't. No, I think it's odd stylistic choices potentially, rather than casting. No, I don't really put any blame on Woody Harrelson for this, because you know he's done what he does, you know, and I don't think it's bad casting. I think it's bad storytelling, maybe. I don't know. None of it fit together properly. You know, like I said, he had 5 different motivations and he didn't really stick with one or resolve any of them. You know, there was where the chemistry was between him and Naomi Harris. I have no idea.
Yeah.
Like, what was that all
Didn't get that
about?
either.
They had like zero chemistry whatsoever, in the same way as kind of, you know, Joker and Harley Quinn basically had no chemistry in Suicide Squad. Like, it felt the same. For people that, you know, for people who are supposed to believe are like so in love that they'd break each other out of prison kind of thing. Like, not just normal prison, but crazy prison. Like, I didn't see it.
Would you watch another one? Because I think there's gonna be another one.
I would watch another one.
We can't go into there's a credit break again. Very interesting. See where that's gonna go. And there's also something that happens to one of the other characters. I think that's gonna go somewhere. I've heard he turns into something.
Okay.
So I think this is doing pretty well money wise again. Venom 3. You know, it seems
I think there will be a 3. I think potentially it will involve more, maybe a bit more Spider-Man.
or Spider-Man characters.
Spider-Man characters. Maybe fit more into the Marvel universe a little bit. I don't think we'll see a Venom Spider-Man movie anytime soon, but I think he might crop up in that world potentially.
And you'll be happily going sitting for another one.
I would watch another one. I'd give it another chance, mainly because I just like Tom Hardy arguing with himself, to be honest. I find it quite amusing.
Yeah, I quite enjoy I'd rather have Tom Hardy did other films, to be honest. If I was being 100% honest with you, I'd rather him, because he's an incredible actor.
Yeah.
But he seems to like this property and he seems to be having fun with it. And it's quite nice.
If we do it again, though, can we have some more Scroobius Pip? Can we have him pop up as an actual,
what
more
was
than
his
just a
character?
little pop-up character?
Was he anyone I meant to know?
I think he was one of the guys in the prison with Shriek, wasn't he? So
Yeah,
you're meant to
yeah,
think
but-
he's some sort of like
Nutter.
uber bad guy.
But he's not.
And well, I don't know. I don't know who his character is. He's only in it in a very short time, And I'm really, really keen to go, why have you got someone quite iconic in that role? Are they going to pop up again later? You know, and he didn't pop up again later in this movie, so I'm really hoping he pops up again later in the next movie.
Cool. Big question, Rich. Unequal sequel, yes or no? And what rating would you give it?
Oh, okay. It's quite a tough one. Unequal sequel.
Is it better than the original?
It's not better than the original, no. But it's not. It's not a lot worse than the original either. So I'd say it's quite equal.
I would go. It's an equal sequel.
Yeah, it's an equal sequel. Yeah. Okay.
It didn't bring anything new to the sequel.
No.
Well, it brought some new stuff to the sequel, as in more characters, but it didn't bring anything like.
It's
like
very much
Terminator
more
2-ish.
of the same, isn't it?
Yes, that's what I'm trying to say in a roundabout way.
And do you know what? I'd be really excited to see what the Sequelizers guys do with it. I might suggest it. I might join their Patreon and just suggest it.
They will love that.
I think that would be a good one for them to do.
I imagine that they absolutely love Venom 1 and 2. I think we have lower rating standards as those guys.
Really? Yeah. Well, yeah. I think they're a class above us.
I listened to their Time Cop episode today, and I quite like Time Cop. They're not fans, and I agree that Time Cop 2 is trash. So
I've not seen either, but I did listen to their National Treasure 2 episode after your dislike of National Treasure 2, and whilst I don't think National Treasure 2 is a terrible movie, I also found myself agreeing with almost everything they said. I mean, I don't agree that it's a terrible movie, but I did go, oh yeah, you're right. Oh yeah, you are right. Oh yeah, you're right about that too. Anyway, we're promoting someone else's podcast on our podcast, but hey, that's
give it a
okay.
rating. Give Venom 2, Let There Be Carnage, whatever it is, a rating out of 7.
Out of 7, 3.5, I think. So
yeah,
midway.
I'm gonna agree with Rich. I'm gonna say 3.5. It was a nice way to spend 97 minutes. It's interesting. I'm not going to say it's going to change the world or anything in any way. No. But I did have a little bit of fun with it. And the more I think about it, more I enjoy it. I think Venom did the same thing when first time I watched it. I was like, And then I watched it a couple more times like, you know what? It's all right. It's definitely got its faults, but I'm on board.
I enjoyed it more than Bond.
Jesus Christ.
I enjoyed it more than No Time to Die. I'm not saying it's a better movie, because, my God, Bond is a well-made movie.
Yeah.
That is, the amount of time and effort and funding they've put towards that movie is phenomenal. And everyone should watch it in the cinema, and everyone should watch it in IMAX. It is a very, very well-made movie. It just wasn't for me. That's all.
So here I have it, folks. If you're going to watch 2 films out of Bond or Venom 2 this week, watch Venom 2 from Rich.
If you're me, go and watch Venom 2. In fact, actually, if you're me, go and watch It's a Sin again.
Oh yeah, Rich watched It's a Sin and now thinks it's the best thing in sliced bread. And I hear it's very good.
It's very good.
But it's not a sequel and it's not a movie,
good.
Rich. Also this week, because it's half term coming up, when we released a half term, Addams Family 2 is still in a lot of cinemas, a lot of screenings. Listen to our we didn't do a review of Addams Family 2, did we? We did a little bit.
We sort of did, yeah.
I was about to promote an episode we haven't done. We mentioned it last week on the screen trailer breakdown.
Yeah.
So listen to that. And
you could take your kids to go and
listen
watch it.
Listen to our Bond review, listen to our best, worst, and dream.
Listen to Dave's Bond review, because I hadn't seen it at that point. Yeah. But it's quite a funny episode, actually.
Yeah. Listen to all our extras. Anything else we have to mention, Rich?
Yeah. We're going to be back with our main episodes. Like the main thing we need to mention, Dave. Main episodes are coming back 15th of November. Can we say... can we leave a hint?
No.
Can we not even give them a hint?
What's your hint?
You're going to cut it out if it's too obvious. Mm-hmm. I would say The Man from U.N.C.L.E.
I thought that would be your hint.
We'll be back on the 15th of November. It's a Monday. It'll be first thing in the morning, so you can listen to it on your commute. Our brand new series of interview episodes, and we'll be back with a very, very special
Yeah,
guest.
it's going to be a good one.
And I'm very excited. And if you want to hear me like a bit giggly like a little schoolgirl, then yeah, that's the one to tune into.
It was great. I really enjoyed it. You can find us on Instagram and Twitter at Unequal Sequel. You can email us. Where can you email us, Rich?
Oh, I thought I was going to get away with it then.
No.
unequalsequel@hotmail.com. Is that right?
Yeah. Well done. So
Got it right.
We'll be back next week. Not quite sure we're recording next week for the extra.
Yeah,
something. We'll be back next week. Everyone have a good time and see you later. So bye from me and
Bye.
from him. Have a good week. Bye.